Good morning, Johto. My name is Lane here at the Goldenrod Radio Tower, bringing you your weekday news for Pokemon Go, Pokemon TCG, and sometimes a little bit of Scarlet and Violet as well. If you'd like to find more of us, you can on Twitter at GMJoto. Send us an email, do all that stuff you know. But if you are watching the video, this is one of the rare times we put up a video. You can tell we have a different guest. Guest, who are you?
LePiars, aka Jack the Whipper, aka Jacques the Whipper. I'm the guy who works at Renaissance fairs. Maybe you've seen on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, singing songs with the whips as percussion.
Did you ever think this would be your future? Like, let's say 10 years
Actually,
ago?
yes, because I grew
Really?
up in the circus. I've been doing this since I've been in the circus since I was 6. I've been doing this character, Jacques the Whipper, since 2008, since I was 20 and still in college. And there was a solid stretch right after school, right towards the end of college, where I was trying to make this my full-time job. At that time, I could not find the work,
Yeah.
but now I can. I just took a 13-year detour into the world of NPR and public radio.
Well, and I told you, like, that's the stuff that got me watching some of your stuff and then into this. And normally I would say maybe people don't think of you with Pokemon, but maybe most of us a few weeks ago saw a Pokemon Go related video. So I said, hey, let's try to have you on. But so what is your history with Pokemon? Like, did you play forever? Like,
I've been here since day one, sort of. So
sure.
I played. I was a kid in the '90s, so I played the original Pokemon Blue, and then I got Pokemon Yellow, and I played Pokemon Snap and Pokemon Stadium on N64. I watched the anime, the first couple of seasons of the anime when I was a kid, and then I fell off after Gen 2. So
Sure.
once that came around, I came back for like Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green, but after that, I kind of fell off. Basically, once it became to the point where, because you gotta catch them all.
Yeah, that's
It
the
ain't
thing.
gotta catch some, you gotta catch them all. Once catching them all meant more than 250, I was like, I'm out. I
Yeah.
can't commit to that. And like the numbers started to get too many for me, and I was like, I need to take a step back. So
And I could tell with Red and Leaf Green, you're like, hey, I know this one. It's just a game I know, and they're redoing it. I'm in.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's a perfect thing. So you did though at the stadium, what we'll say is the heyday of the Pokemon game times, right? Those.
Yeah.
Then you got into Pokemon, doing all your stuff, whipping around, doing your things. What got you into Pokemon Go when it came out? More than
Oh, I mean,
50 at the time.
that was, I mean, Pokemon Go was just like an immediate, like, yes, I want to do this. And especially once I saw that it was only the original 150 that they had
Yeah, in the
released
beginning. Yeah.
initially, I was like, oh, yes, 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 yes. It came out like it was exactly what we always wanted as kids, which is you can go out in the world and find Pokemon. I'm like, you're telling me I can go out and walk down my block and find Pokemon? Yes, I am in. Um, I'm not going to say I went to work late that day, but I am saying that my boss texted me to be like, hey, you're supposed to be in by now, right? And I was like, yes, I am on my way as soon as I catch this Pokemon down the street. So I was in it immediately. And then my wife, who was my girlfriend at the time, uh, very quickly realized that this was a great way to get me out of the house,
Yes.
because like I don't like going on
It's
walks.
where
I
bad
don't
side
like
happens.
going outside. No, we stay inside. We do the gamer skincare routine, which is
Yeah.
that you never see the sun. And so she downloaded it. She started doing it as well. She did not have the history that I did with Pokemon, where like I'd catch a Magikarp and be like, "That's a good Pokemon. You want to
Yeah.
get like good ones of those. Like just trust me." And she's like, "What? What? Are they? It's so like no. Just trust me." Um, so and that was the kind of thing where because they kept releasing it in stages, I was hooked. But I also realized at a certain point that I was very badly hooked. So I had to like set a rule of like I said I was going to catch the first 150 and be done. And then I was like, well, maybe I'll just do the first 250 and be done. And then I turned into like the first 350 and done. And once the Pokemon started coming out and I didn't recognize them, I was like, I got to stop. This is taking up too much of my time because it's feeling like an extra job that I have to
Sure.
keep up with. And I was like, I should take a step back. And so I deleted it. I want to say around 20, probably right around 2020, like the new year.
Gotcha. And you're
And then I came back about a month ago.
really, and
Yes.
I always say the best part of this game is taking a break because there's
Yeah.
so much more stuff. Let's say from the 5 years, you're like, what is this? I don't know what this is. Doing these things. Uh, Now, I would say to a point, it's almost perfect for someone with your job because you're traveling around, right?
Yeah.
Even in the continental U.S. or the greater, you go north of like New York, you get Buffalo, like
Yeah.
Florida, you're getting Corsola and Heracross. So for you, someone that's like going around getting these specific things, and not to say that Ren Fair people may like Pokemon, but there's probably a crossover.
There is every festival I've ever worked. There are, as long as it's a permanent site, there are a ton of Pokestops there.
Yep,
There are two or three gyms there. And so I was in Colorado last month, and my stage mates there were all playing Pokemon. And they were all on Team Mystic, on Team Valor, because I had to go for the
sure.
Jacques one, apparently, the Gryffindor of Pokemon Go. But so I at first they were really skeptical. They're like, "Oh, get out of here!" Like I would take over one gym, they'd immediately kick me out. And I explained to them like, "You guys don't understand. You want me here. You need
You
me.
need me for
You
this amount
need
of
me.
time. We get the all of
Yes,
our stuff. Yeah.
exactly. You need me to knock out your Pokemon because I know everyone else on this site. They're all Team Blue as well, except
So
for the
funny.
one person who's Team Yellow. But we don't know where they are. You want me here. You need me to
So this is
save
the
your
video
Pokemon.
before the video, and you're like, we need
Yeah,
to record this.
exactly.
This is something
Yeah.
that needs to be. And
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you, being in the Pokemon Go or Pokemon scene, how many of our nerds were in your comments like, this is it. This, when you find out, and you may not think of it, but a celebrity, like an internet celebrity,
Yeah.
is like, they like Pokemon because you know what I mean. We don't know. It's like he's one of us, and like that was one that we saw, and all of my friends like seeing those comments and everything, and it's like this is it. And I thought I'm like, man, this is the job. This is you're going around. You can catch and do the stuff. It goes over and you're right. Like for a lot of us, including myself, it's how we go outside. Like that is the like especially during those times of like man, it's just hot. These things are happening and running around. So yeah, like that's a big, and I'm hoping, and not a future thing, that now if people are coming up to you for Pokemon Go stuff at these your future work stuff, because
You
that's a
keep asking me
thing.
for my friend code. I'm not sure if I'm willing to share that just yet. I'm like, I don't
Sure.
know. I don't know if I want to be inundated with like requests. I don't
So that's how
fully
doxing
know.
works. That's how
Yeah.
doxing. They're like, okay, we know he's here. I'm gonna heads up. I'm gonna send you mine. You do whatever what you will. But that's how
Got it.
people find those specific things, but it's also you're like, I need XP from leveling. But yes, if you give all these people prepare, they're like, we know where you are. We know, and that's you're like, I don't know
Yeah.
about that
Yeah.
stranger I
Yeah.
just met.
Cool. Awesome. Then I will not be giving out my friend code.
Yeah, because think when you send them the gift, right? It shows where
Yeah.
you got the thing.
Yeah.
And if someone sends the same town over and over, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I know where
Mm-hmm.
he lives. Or that was an early thing of the game. Like we're going into our 10th year next year. But that was, yes. So it's one of those that I lead a lot of our community stuff where we tell the kids, like, we know you want to add Pokemon, but please don't add strangers. Like you know what I mean? Please don't. It's the first world problems of Pokemon Go kids is like, hey, please don't do that. But now
It's
to you, like
it's internet safety in a nutshell,
sure.
really.
It is, and like that's one of the big things. But it seems so. Let's say from your last 5 years, you like it different. What's your takeaway?
It was nice to come back. Like I left right as Rocket Raids, Team Rocket was
Yes.
starting to show up for the first
Hmm.
time, and like you could start dueling other trainers. So like I left before that really got going. It was just coming out, and I stopped. So it's nice to be to come back and like kind of use it and like, oh, I have reasons to use my Pokemon that are not Dragonite, not Heracross, Tyranitar, Metagross. I have
Yeah.
reasons to use these Pokemon that only get up to like 1497 CP. I'm like, oh, great. They're suddenly they're relevant for these different leagues. but I also had a ton of research tasks that was like, do this. So it's been fun seeing, I mean, one, just catching new Pokemon left and right. And then two, just like seeing how the game has changed and having a ton of stuff to do in it again.
That was the part I always ask new like trainers or returning coming back. Is like, let's say in a majority are like, man, I only like the first two generations or three or whatever. And then they're like, okay, what do you feel about the new ones? And it's a 50-50 split. They're like, well, I like my old guys, but finding new stuff. And we have people that have never Pokemon before. They're like, my kids got me into this, my grandkids got me into this. I now like Pokemon because of this. And it's one of those new things that I would love to show. This is where showing you the world, where we have our big things here, where 50, 60,000 people get together in the US each year. And we like, for, I told you February, March, they shut down the Rose Bowl for all of us and they all go to Rose Bowl. Right now, I don't know how big of baseball, but baseball partnered with Go, and some MLB nights are Pokemon Go theme nights with Pikachu in your team's
Awesome.
thing. And with the 10th year next year continuing, but like, as you kind of know, like your Renaissance Fair people can kind of like, you're like, man, how many people can gather in this one area? And then you got all the, I call my Pokemon Go nerds that we all, the trainers that run around. And it's one of those things that I think go together hand in hand. And I told you that I told you this before. I didn't want to ask you so many Renaissance Fair like questions, trying to figure out your history with Pokemon and everything. But I do have one, and that's, how do you remember all the songs? Like when you learn these songs and all these, like, and I said maybe some of the past ones, like people know Queen or different things, right? But when a new song comes out, like how do you prepare for all this?
So I mean, I listen to a lot of music. I am that guy who's always walking around with headphones on, listening to something. So I listen to a lot of music. I listen
40-hour road
to
trips.
Yeah, 40-hour road
Yeah.
trips where I'm driving across the country. And I have a very wide, eclectic variety of musical tastes. So I think just having that broad, like I'm not specifically a like I only like alternative rock, or I only like hip hop, or I only like country. My musical tastes are pretty broad, and pretty shallow as well. So I learned the catchy songs, but not the entire discography, which allows me to kind of like spread out, cover more ground. And then it's also just the thing of like people will ask me to do a song like K-pop Demon Hunters has been for the last month. They ask me, they keep bringing it up, and finally I'm like, okay, let me listen to this, see what this is. And I do, and I listen. Sometimes it's easy to figure out. Hot to
Because
Go was
you
super
could do
easy.
the same thing, right? Like
Yeah.
because let's say you got rid of your band list if someone's familiar with your content, you could just be doing the same songs
Oh
every.
yeah.
And for you, it's the same thing, but I guess it's a repetitive for you.
Well, I'm trying to get more content for the
Sure.
internet.
Yeah.
But also like it's the kind of thing where I'm just last year with like Hot to Go, it was getting requested every single show. And I was like, I'm sick of it. I'm bored of it. Like the big draw for me of the musical whipping is it's improvised. So it's different for me, and I have 25 minutes of scripted material that comes after it. And that stuff, I've worked on that. That's there to be, to make sure that you're getting a good quality show. But the first part of the show, I want to be fresh for the audience. I want to be fresh for me. So
That's you. And this is the one thing not about like with the band list, but does it differ where you travel all around the US?
yeah.
That okay, this part of Texas has requests that's like like maybe the country part. You know what I mean? Whatever. Does it matter where you travel, what the requests are like in different ways, or is it all about the same?
I mean, like it's broadly the same. I think my fans are pretty similar everywhere
Yeah,
I go, but they'll ask for regional songs. Like, I went to Alaska, they asked for Up North to Alaska.
sure.
Texas, they always ask for The Stars at Night. I'm sure if I
I was gonna
went to
say
like,
West Virginia. That we like that's
yeah,
their song, right? Take me home, even though it's not
mhm,
even about West Virginia. But well, that's a future time.
yeah, I'm sure if I went to California, it'd be like either
California
Tupac
love, yeah.
or California Girls. So there's a whole bunch of like regional songs that sometimes come up, but less than you would expect. It's generally pretty much the same.
because we're talking the Renaissance fair like person, and they have asking
Yeah,
for soda pop 900 times.
exactly.
That, yeah, like, and then you're right for content, all those different things, and continuing with that, because that when we see this right, and someone asks you a song, you're like, okay, I already have that ready, I already have that. I'm like, you are a karaoke machine, Rolodex of whipping Spotify songs.
Well,
Like,
the big thing to remember is that I was doing this for about 10
yeah,
years before it ever went on the internet. So I had a lot of time to practice some of these songs off stage or off camera, a bunch of times before we put them on the internet. So some of them were improv once, or like, let's say in the case of like, some random song, the first time it was 50% improv, or it was all improv, and the next time it was 50% improv as I like tweaked a word here,
yeah,
changed a line there, and the next time it was 25% improv. So like sometimes the song goes through, I do it 4 or 5 times before, and then the fifth version is the one that actually goes on the internet.
that's great. Like that's
So
that's someone understanding the internet, understanding crazy algorithms and different things that are hard to wrap your heads around sometimes. So, last question. We're a quick show, even though I don't know how quick we've done this. We always ask the same question for every guest. What is your favorite or go-to breakfast? Like you're traveling everywhere. What is your go-to?
it is a homemade ham, egg, and tomato on an English muffin. I go to the grocery store. I get myself English muffins. I cook one egg, 4 slices of ham, a slice of tomato. I eat the rest of the tomato with Lowry seasoning salt, and then I have an orange sliced up, and that is my breakfast that I have just about every day. If my Airbnb has a toaster,
I was gonna say
this one does not.
coffee, anything. Do you get any coffee, juice, milk?
So I used to do juice. I cut out, I wanted to cut those calories out of my diet earlier this year. So I switched to just water and then sometimes coffee, but not always coffee.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, like I will have caffeine to function, but I don't always have it first thing in the
This will
day.
be an extra question just for you. Do you have a go-to Ren Fair food? Do you have a food that's
No,
like no
I don't eat. Oh no,
any?
actually, yes, I do. So my usual what I say to that is I don't eat Ren Fair food because I can't really leave my backstage, but my
Sure.
wife will sometimes go on food runs for me. And the easy answer there is pickles.
Yeah, you get that. Hey, like that was one thing, right? That can be the same for every Ren Fair. You're like, I know what a pickle tastes like in that, and
It's got salt. I will a lot of time I've been bringing a jar of pickle juice with me to drink backstage just to like keep myself
that's so funny.
salted,
Yeah.
electrolyted, and it's good for the voice.
I was gonna say, already like hearing you about this, you're like, I don't want turkey leg. That's meat sweats and gross feeling. You're like, if I'm performing so
Heavy.
many times, yeah, like
Yeah.
that's someone that knows the vocal cords and different things. Well, hey, thanks for coming on. This has been wonderful talking to you. I know I told you this is probably going to go out mid sometime like next week when we're recording this here on August 13th. What shows do you have coming up?
So if it is after August 17th, I am on my way to Maryland. I'm about to do 3 weekends at the Maryland Renaissance Festival. And then I've got a couple of weeks off. And then I am doing the 20-Sided Tavern in Chicago. And then again in Boston. That is going to be September 23rd to 28th, I believe, in Chicago. October 3rd, 4th, and 5th only in Boston. I'm only there for the night shows because I'll be at King Richard's Fair during the day. Come to the night shows. D&D improv show. It is one of my favorite things I have ever done on stage. I cannot recommend it highly enough.
Double booking. I love it.
Oh
That
yeah.
that's a work ethic right there, and the little Dungeons and Dragons as well. We love that. Thanks for coming on, trainers. Have a great day, Jack. Thank you for coming on, trainers. We will see you bright and early tomorrow morning.